Did you know that every minute humans use 1.2 million plastic bottles? While recycling seems like an eco-friendly choice, it's not as green as you might think. Recycling plastic bottles consumes vast amounts of energy, emits toxic greenhouse gases, and often results in downcycled inferior products. Discover why switching to a reusable water bottle is a truly sustainable solution and how you can make a real impact. Keep watching to uncover the shocking truth about recycling plastic bottles. The importance of recycling is widely acknowledged. From an early age, we are instilled with the belief that recycling is the best way to protect the environment. Furthermore, many people believe that recycling plastic water bottles is the best course of action. However, what if we told you that recycling plastic water bottles is less beneficial to the environment than you may believe? Purchasing a reusable water bottle is a far more environmentally friendly choice. See why by continuing to watch. Not as environmentally friendly as you may believe is recycling plastic water bottles. The total amount of plastic bottles humans use per minute is 1.2 million. A whole bunch of plastic, that. Moreover, what are you going to do with all those empty water bottles? Recycle them if you're anything like the majority of people. However, you may be surprised to learn that recycling plastic water bottles has negative environmental effects. While recycling plastic water bottles is generally seen as being environmentally beneficial, the truth is that it requires a significant amount of energy and resources. When plastic water bottles are recycled, toxic greenhouse gases are produced. Plastic water bottle recycling contributes to a decrease in the quantity of garbage dumped in landfills. However, the recycling process itself produces hazardous greenhouse gases. Plastic needs to be heated to melt and shape into new goods, which is the first step in the recycling process. This process contributes to climate change by releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide and methane. Furthermore, the majority of recycled plastic gets downcycled into inferior goods like textiles or carpeting rather than being used to make new water bottles. Therefore, other strategies, including cutting back on consumption or moving to reusable bottles, are more effective in addressing climate change than recycling plastic water bottles. It requires more energy and resources to manufacture new plastic water bottles from recycled ones than it does to make them from the start. Energy and resources are needed to make anything, but producing something from recycled materials usually takes more work than creating it from the start. This particularly applies to water bottles made of plastic. Before they can be used to create new bottles, recycled plastic bottles must be cleaned and processed, which requires a lot of water and energy. Furthermore, products created from recycled plastic frequently have lesser quality and less durability than those made from virgin materials. Approximately 2 to 3 recycling cycles are allowed for a single piece of plastic before its quality is too low to be used for manufacturing or other purposes. Because of this, it is typically more environmentally friendly to just stop using plastic water bottles completely. Instead of recycling the plastic water bottles they gather, the majority of recyclers choose to export them to China. Plastic recycling has grown to be a significant industry. No secret, many individuals make it a point to put their plastics into the appropriate bins because most communities have some sort of recycling program in place. But what happens to those plastics once they are gathered? It turns out that the majority of them are not genuinely recycled. Rather, they are exported to China, where they are utilized in the production of new goods. The issue is that plastic recycling is costly, and processing it yourself is frequently not worth the effort for recyclers. They decide to sell it instead because of this. China has long accepted these plastics, but as of late, they have made it clear that they are no longer interested in receiving our recycled materials. For recyclers, who would now need to find a new market for their goods, this could provide a serious challenge. Roughly 9% of all plastic ever made is thought to have been recycled. The remainder winds up in the water or landfills. Finding a technique to recycle more of our plastics locally is necessary if we hope to make any progress on this issue. If not, we will simply be exporting our waste, which will exacerbate environmental issues. Purchasing a reusable water bottle is a more ecologically responsible and sustainable choice. Any hiker worth their salt knows how important it is to drink enough water. Unfortunately, the environment is suffering greatly as a result of our dependency on single-use plastic water bottles. Millions of pounds of plastic waste fall into landfills each year, and a large portion of it finds its way into the ocean, where it may pose a threat to marine life. Making the move to reusable water bottles is one way we can lessen our effects. Reusable water bottles are long-lasting and reusable since they are composed of materials like glass or stainless steel. The good news is that your reusable bottle's environmental effect is decreasing with each usage. A person will have decreased these impacts per serving to levels lower than those associated with disposable bottles, for instance, if they use their reusable water bottle every day for a total of 30 days. In addition, a lot of reusable water bottles are now equipped with filters, so you can fill them with tap water and be sure the water is safe and clean to drink. Reusable water bottles are not only more cost-effective in the long run, but they're also more environmentally friendly. Consider getting a reusable water bottle instead of a plastic one the next time you grab one. It goes beyond simply the bottle. A standard 500 ml single-use water bottle requires around 5.3 litres of water to fill. That is 10 times the total volume of water that it can eventually contain. For the production of plastic bottles, 1.5 million barrels of oil are consumed annually. They are then transported around the globe by burning more oil. Therefore, a plastic bottle's environmental effects extend far beyond the container itself. The use of bottled water is raising moral storms. One problem that has come to define the modern era is excessive waste. Water finds itself in the center of an ethical tempest as a result of the recent explosion of the bottled water industry. What right do we have to support a business beset by ecological indifference simply because we use the best possible water? We don't think we should have to make this decision against our will. At Virgin Pure, we support providing everyone with unrestricted access to the purest water while minimizing the environmental and ecological damage that bottled water does. There is no financial justification for recycling plastic. Recycling plastic bottles is more expensive than making new ones and throwing away the old ones. The cost of recycling plastic is high. It's not always an easy or economical procedure because of the enormous amount of time and equipment required to clean it, remove the labels, separate all the different kinds of plastic from one another, and then actually recycle it into something else. Thus, plastic can occasionally be transformed into new objects. However, it's a costly and highly technical process. Furthermore, plastic can only be recycled a limited number of times due to its degradation with each reuse. New plastic, however, is inexpensive to make. But not all recycling is harmful. Cans made of aluminum may be recycled indefinitely, whereas plastic cannot. Plastic recycling may appear straightforward, but it's quite complicated. Recycling has disadvantages, even though it may assist lower the amount of plastic used, the amount of raw materials used, and the pollution of the air and water. Learn more about the drawbacks of plastic recycling and why cutting back on single-use plastic usage is a far better course of action by continuing to read. Why everyone needs to know exactly what harm plastic causes to the environment. Numerous publications promise to dispel common misconceptions about water quality, and there is an abundance of information available on the subject. The amount of contradicting and often overabundant information has reached the point of being internet noise rather than being beneficial. When it comes down to it, as consumers, all we want is to know that we're choosing the course of action that best reflects our values. However, we must first be clear about our beliefs before our shopping habits can flow naturally from them. Switching to reusable water bottles is a simple yet powerful step towards protecting our planet. By reducing our reliance on single-use plastics, we can decrease the energy, resources, and greenhouse gases associated with recycling plastic bottles. Remember, every small change contributes to a healthier environment. Make the switch today and be part of the solution. If you found this information valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights on living sustainably and protecting our environment.